With around 90 regular entries and up to 28 SP-class vehicles competing in the National Off-Road Racing Championship, it seriously has to be one of the closest and most exciting National Championship series on the calendar at present. The Regent racing team is a very high-profile outfit, and this is the vehicle they compete in, a Nissan Navara with a V8 engine. We've come out to Geritech to get a sense of what it's like driving this vehicle and also to talk to the role players about what makes the team tick. So let's start off. What are the basics of this car? What's the engine, and basically give us a bit of a technical rundown.
The cars today are space frame built, so I think years ago you would have had a ladder chassis and a car basically taken a Nissan Navara and would have built a racing car out of it. Today you build a fully space frame chromoly chassis, and from there you decide exactly what car you want it to be. So this particular one is a Nissan Navara, and it's powered by an Infiniti FX50 engine, which is a 5-litre V8. In its current form, we regulate it, so we have to run a restrictor to slow us down. But this current one is about 220 kilowatts on the wheels and probably around the 500 Newton meters in torque. Four-wheel drive, runs a 6-speed sequential gearbox. Gearbox comes out of France. It's also part of the regulations, so it's a gearbox every single one of the competitors run. It's standard throughout the series. A beautiful marriage between engine and gearbox.
And looking at the wheelbase, relatively short to what we were used to before.
Yeah, it's a little bit shorter now as per the regulations, but beautiful. It's, from a handling perspective, is really, really impressive.
And that was certainly the case on the short but challenging test route. The Navara tackles everything from fast sweeps to tight and rough sections with glee. But there's more to Regent racing than fast Navaras. We tend to think of racing and motorsport as a team, mechanics, vehicles and drivers and navigators in this particular instance. But you guys have taken that a whole step further, and you look at it from a sponsorship value and a commercial value perspective.
Most certainly. First and foremost, with Regent and Imperial, it's always been pretty much a family sport. And the families included is all of our sponsors. Generally speaking, commercial companies in South Africa are starved of corporate entertainment. And this is just really a platform that they can entertain their clients, have a good weekend out and enjoy the racing and enjoy the company.
You're also creating an experiential element to this, because your clients actually get a sense of what it's like being in one of these cars.
Exactly. It's like a bucket list experience, a big adrenaline pump. And we just find once they've experienced the car, they're really a spectator and fan of the sport.
It's probably the healthiest form of motorsport at the moment in the country, which is a good thing. But from a competitive, I think I challenge the guys to say go and find a premium category where you've got 30 cars in the start line. There's anybody, or one of I think 10 people at any given time who could win this win that particular event. So to be one of 30 competing at this high level is very, very rewarding.
The best way to experience what these SP-class Nissan Navaras are capable of is to strap yourself into the navigator seat and watch how an experienced cross-country racer like Terence gives it stick. It's sometimes hard to believe just how much punishment the Nissan soaks up, and at significant speeds too. How close in technical specification terms is a vehicle like this to what we would see in Dakar?
This particular car here that we designed and built in South Africa is 100% Dakar spec. It's built for Dakar. We went across to 2 Dakars to have a look at what's happening in the rest of the world. The outcome was very simple, that we in South Africa are more than capable enough of building a car as good, if not better, than the rest of the world was doing. To run 2 cars in Dakar is anywhere between probably 8 to 10 million rand to run that. So yeah, by all means, it remains the dream. It's what we're working towards, but there's still a few boxes to tick before we get there.
While Marsh and Whitehouse have Dakar in their sights, all I wanted to do was to get behind the wheel of the Navara for a couple of laps. been a good couple of years since I last drove an SP class off-road bucky, so getting behind the wheel of this Regent Racing Nissan Navara has been particularly interesting. For me, the highlights: the SADF sequential gearbox, which is just really so percussive and precise and quick, and also the throttle response, which is really, really impressive. I mean, this is a V8 engine now, has a lot of power, and that throttle response is razor sharp. So when you're trying to get some power down in a particularly critical situation, the power's there all the time. Steering, to me, was probably a little bit slower than I would have expected, but I think this is the kind of vehicle which you throttle steer a lot of the time, and then the suspension, absolutely superb. Some of the terrain out there you will not believe in terms of how many undulations and how irregular it actually is, and yet this ride, quite plush, but never to the point of being soggy, just really quite comfortable. All it needs is an aircon, and then you could just go long distance at a really good pace and not worry about what the road looks like at all.
That big V8 usually pushes out 390 kilowatts, but it's limited by a restrictor here. Drive is to all four wheels, but it's the suspension setup that matters most.